Hey everybody, it's Jax again from your Popcorn View podcast. Today's gonna be my episode 105, and this time around it's gonna be on two movies, but it's part one and two, The Family Plan, and then The Family Plan 2. Family Plan 2 came out, and I realized that there was a first one, of course, with the name 2. So we quickly watched the first one before we got into that second one. The first one was actually amazing. It was a nice little twist there. It shows that, Mark Wahlberg's character, he tried to hide himself from social media, online presence. He just was a complete ghost for the most part. And every time someone tried to take a picture, he hid it or tried to delete it right away. Even when his job tried to take a picture of him to show that he was like the salesman of the year or the month, he was like, no, it's okay. Let someone else take it. He just didn't want any kind of like social media presence. And at first, he just thought it was really weird. But turns out that he's actually living like a double life or try to start a new life from his original life. He's like an ex CIA or ex kind of military black ops or um, I would say like black market for hire, if anything. He did a lot of like missions overseas. He's done a lot of like assassinations. And he just finally got fed up with it. He said he needs to change his life and he started a family. If you see in the picture there, he has three children actually. One's is about to go to college. The son, who's the middle son, the youngest baby, and it's just crazy because, he tries to protect them as best he can. But as all parents know, you can tell your kids a bunch of things and they're always not going to listen. They're going to try to do things on their own, which kind of sucks in a sense, but that's how they learn. But it's a great movie, out of nowhere, he was actually out with his wife at like a county fair or a circus, and someone took a picture of him kind of like kissing his wife. And when he asked the guy to turn it off or delete it, the guy posts it and then takes a slushy or a soda he had and dumped it on Mark Wahlberg's character. Now, with the training that he had a lot of like, I would say a lot of, he was better than me. Let's put it like that. He could have gone off and beat the shit out of those 4 or 5 guys with ease, but he chose not to. He composed himself. But once that picture got out, he realized that him and his family aren't safe. So he tries to pick up everyone in the family. And little by little, he starts being chased. He starts being cornered. At one point, the minivan gets destroyed. He picks up all his kids. He picks up his oldest daughter from school. Come to find out that she quit being a writer. Then his son was also, he went to pick up his son from school. He wasn't there. He was cutting school and he was playing video games in one of his friend's garages. Apparently, he was so good that he had like an online presence, but he never showed his face. And what ended up happening, actually, no, he did show his face, but he just never told his dad. So right there, again, he's trying to have his kids not have an online presence like he does. And then they already had one. Now, the youngest baby, of course, he just picks him up from daycare, picks up his wife as well, kind of lies to them saying they're going on a family vacation, spontaneous. And he ends up going to Vegas because he's trying to hide from his, I would say, ex gang life, because it was kind of like he was in a gang or a mafia type deal. He just had like special ops training. And it turns out that the people who are actually chasing him is his father. So his father is the one who's chasing him. The father's upset that he broke away from the family. The father's upset that his number one asset is no longer willing to work for him anymore. So he sends everybody after his son and grandkids and daughter-in-law pretty much. They trash Vegas for the most part. They completely destroy the hotel room they're in. At one time they were in Vegas, or one part that they were in Vegas, they were going through like the slot machine room that was being renovated and they fucked up everything. So hopefully that stuff was just hollow shells of slot machines, but they destroyed that casino room. Long story short, he does have his kids help him out as a family. They end up beating the father. Or great grandfather or grandfather, if anything. But it's just a nice story because it shows a guy who's just trying to be a dad and his old life is kind of pulling him back in. So an all good movie. I would give that movie a solid 8 personally. That's where I go with that. Good 8, can't complain about that. Now the other one was on Apple TV. So luckily my friends actually had it that when we were hanging out with them that weekend. So saw Family Plan 1 and right after saw Family Plan 2. This one's a little bit different. His family knows that he's a secret agent or ex-military, ex-mafia boss or ex-mafia connections. So in this movie, though, it's a little bit different. His daughter's in Europe. They think everything's fine. The daughter's in Europe. And while they're in Europe, she starts seeing the guy, and the parents don't approve because they don't know who he is, especially with all the stuff that just happened last year. So they go and visit her. The father starts up like a security company after, the family knows what's going on now. The wife also is like, I think she was like a nurse or a coach, if I'm not mistaken, for the local high school. And the son is also trying to find himself. He's allowed to play video games now. The baby's still a baby. I think it's only a couple years older. But it just shows like there was a disconnect with the family. So the dad ended up finding out that there was a company in Europe who allowed him to be close to his daughter and still work for Thanksgiving weekend. So they end up going out there, finds the boyfriend in the house, kind of upset because the daughter never said anything, but the mother knew, just never said anything because it was the daughter's place to say it. I wish that if something happened like that in my family, my wife would tell me. I think she would. My daughter might hide it, but I think my wife would tell me at least so I would know what I'm going into. But it was a good movie as well. This movie here shows that the father is still being tracked by that lifestyle. The person who's coming after his this time is his half brother who played Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. So his half brother's coming at him, but his half brother is coming at it at a different angle than the father did. He tricks Mark Wahlberg into helping him steal from a safe, but he was playing as if it was his safe that he was trying to have Mark Wahlberg protect. But he actually used Mark Wahlberg to steal the safe and blamed him for everything. Killed a couple of security guards, blamed Mark Wahlberg for everything. Now the whole country is looking for the whole family. Now it's his half brother, like I mentioned, and the brother is actually jealous. So the father was going after his son because he was upset his son left the organization. Well, the son or half brother is mad at Mark Wahlberg because he said, Dad always treated me like shit. He always looked at you as the golden boy. He always looked at you as the golden child. You couldn't do no wrong in Dad's eyes. Even when you disappeared, Dad still loved you, and he always shunned me. He pretty much said that I'm second place compared to you. Now, what he did was he used Mark Wahlberg to steal from that safe. And in that safe itself, it had like a key to get into a vault that controlled all of their dad's assets, money, guns, control, power, everything. Now, Mark Wahlberg can care less. He's like, yo, I don't want this. Take it. Like, do what you got to do. But just know when you get into bed with what dad used to do, you're never going to be able to get out. So they start fighting. He starts like trying to go after his wife and kids. The boyfriend even helps try to leave the country. Turns out the boyfriend, though, his father is like really big in the government in Europe. So when they get arrested at the end of the movie, he's like, hey, Dad, this is my girlfriend. This is her family. Let him off the hook. But Jon Snow's character actually ends up getting arrested because they were able to prove that he was the one who did all the felonies, all the break-ins. Everything was tied to him. Well, they end up going back. And because of everything transpired, they go back home. The daughter's still in Europe. Actually, no, the daughter comes home for Christmas. Just a few months later, the daughter's home for Christmas, and he's on the like a video chat or conference with someone. It ends up being the boyfriend of his daughter. He's like, "Hey man, I can't wait to see you." And so it just looks like he chummed it up with the boyfriend. He's okay now that his daughter's dating him, and it was just like a one complete like 360. Like he was upset about his daughter having a boyfriend, and now he's okay with it. Now, one of the things was too, the wife actually got a new job at a college, so she was scared to tell him. So after everything transpired, she was like, "Hey, he's gonna let you know I got a job offer and we got to move to another state." He was like, "That's fantastic. I could run my business from wherever, so it's fine with me." So just showing that family still working together, family still there for each other. Just an all good around movie. I thought it was weird the part out of nowhere he has a half brother, but at the end though, the brother was jealous of some jackets that the father gave Mark Wahlberg. So at the end of it, he goes, sees him in jail, and he goes, "Hey, this is a Christmas present. Let's be brothers." And he gives him the jacket. He's like, "This is a joke." He was like, "No, this is to show you that I'm here to be your brother. I didn't know about you before, but I'm here for you now." He's like, "You might be locked up for a long time, but I'll promise you I'll be here." So it just shows that Mark Wahlberg's character still grew. He's trying to have his little brother grow. Even though his brother probably going to be in jail for like 20 years, but it's showing that he's growing. I can see a Family Plan 3 in the future. Don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I could definitely see it happening. Maybe they have to break out this half brother or uncle out of jail and do some stuff, but I could definitely see it. This movie here, I give it about a 7.5 or so. Still good. The first one to me was a little bit better, even though the second one had a little bit more action. The first one showed more of that family bond and family working together. So that was a little bit better for me, but both good movies, both of them out now. But I do give Family Plan 1 an 8. I give Family Plan 2 a 7.5. Both great movies, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.